Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from OK Bandicoot 2349 from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit. This is a story that we have covered in the past. It was around 8 months ago or so that we covered it, but there's been a new update since then. So if you want to skip parts of the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. It says, am I the arsehole for giving my girlfriend an ultimatum about her male best friend? I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, Sarah, 26 female, for just over a year now. And while I love her, there's one thing that's been eating at me since the very beginning: her relationship with her male best friend, Jake, 27 male. Jake has been Sarah's ride or die since college, and I knew from the start that they were close. But what I didn't realize was how much it would impact our relationship. I've always tried to be the chill, trusting boyfriend. I don't want to be the guy who's threatened by a platonic friendship. But honestly, it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm the third wheel in my own relationship. Jake and Sarah are practically inseparable. They hang out multiple times a week. Dinners, movie nights, spontaneous late night drives, and I'm usually not even invited. If I try to join, it's awkward, like I'm crashing their private joke-filled world that I'm not a part of. It stings, but I try to let it go for the sake of keeping the peace. But then things started to cross a line. Jake texts her constantly, even when we're together on dates. It's not just casual stuff either. He calls her babe and sweetheart, and when I brought this up to Sarah, she laughed and said it was just their thing and that it didn't mean anything. Apparently they've been calling each other that for years, but to me, it feels like there's more to it. Who calls their best friend babe when they're in a relationship? Then there was the night I stayed over at her place and woke up at 2 AM to find Sarah on FaceTime with Jake. She was giggling like a schoolgirl, whispering so she wouldn't wake me. When I asked her about it the next morning, she brushed it off, saying Jake needed someone to talk to. But what about me? Am I just here as background noise while she stays emotionally tethered to this guy? The final straw came last weekend. Sarah and I had been planning a special weekend getaway for our 1-year anniversary, something we'd been looking forward to for months. But out of nowhere, Jake invites her to a concert the same weekend. Sarah asked me if we could postpone our anniversary trip so she could go with Jake instead because it's a band they both absolutely love. I was floored. Our anniversary, something we'd been planning for months, could just be rescheduled for Jake. It was like I didn't even matter. I told her this was too much and asked her to set some clear boundaries with Jake. Like no more pet names, no more hanging out one-on-one all the time, and definitely no more prioritizing him over our relationship. She blew up at me, calling me controlling and insecure. She even said, "You knew Jake was part of my life when we started dating. Why are you trying to change me now?" Things got worse when Jake apparently told her that I was being toxic and trying to manipulate her. Sarah is siding with him, saying I'm overreacting and that nothing has ever happened between them. She's now furious with me for giving her an ultimatum, when all I really asked for were some boundaries that would make me feel like I'm her boyfriend, not just a side character in her life with Jake. Now Sarah's giving me the silent treatment, and I'm starting to feel like I've somehow become the villain in my own relationship. Am I losing my mind here? I'm not asking her to drop Jake completely, just to prioritize us and respect our relationship. But maybe I've been unreasonable. So Reddit, am I the arsehole for asking my girlfriend to set boundaries with her male best friend? Or is this friendship way too close for comfort? So Iggy said to this one, do everyone a favor and end this thing now. You'll be doing Sarah a favor. She can have Jake. You'll be doing Jake a favor. He can have Sarah. Most of all, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor because you can find someone who sees you as her ride or die, and someone who is actually loyal to you because after all, loyalty is the single most important factor in friendship, not being nice or liking the same things. Sarah does not believe she needs to be loyal to you. You know how I know? We can only truly know what we believe versus what we think we believe by watching how we act. Her actions speak volumes. You must be joking, says not the arsehole. First point, Jake can have an opinion, but that is not relevant to your relationship. Honestly, it sounds like they are dating. I think you giving an ultimatum was never going to end good for you. Honestly, you know he is her number one priority. Even if she doesn't say it in words, she declares it in all her actions. I think fundamentally Jake is the third person in your relationship, and he will always win. If you can handle that, stay. If not, find your ride or die person. Life is too short to be uncomfortable and frustrated in your romantic relationship after a year. Disastrous Machine says, you are not losing your mind. Their friendship and connection is not a normal friendship behavior when you have a boyfriend. She doesn't prioritize you, she prioritizes him. And it is an old saying, you should not judge by their words, but look to their actions. Their actions tell you clearly that you're not as important. So treat yourself right and leave her. You're not toxic. She is. So the first update on this one came 2 days after that one and said, hey Reddit, I'm back with an update, and let me just say, it didn't turn out how I expected at all. I first want to thank you all for the amazing support you have all given me. After reading over the comments and talking to some of you guys, I'd made up my mind. I was done being second place in my own relationship, and I was ready to walk away. But what happened next surprised me. Saturday night, Sarah came over to talk. I was prepared to have the breakup conversation, but before I could get a word in, she told me something unexpected. She'd cancelled the concert plans with Jake. She said that after our last conversation, she realized how serious I was, and it made her think about everything. She told me she had been selfish, that she had been taking our relationship for granted. She said she told Jake she couldn't go to the concert, and instead she wanted to spend the weekend with me. No distractions, no third wheels, just us. I was honestly shocked. Part of me didn't believe it. For months I'd been asking her to set boundaries with Jake, and suddenly she was doing it. It felt surreal, like last minute effort to save something that was already broken. But she seemed sincere. She apologized, not just for the concert situation, but for all the time she had ignored my feelings, dismissed my concerns, and prioritized Jake over us. She admitted she had been blind to how much it hurt me, and she said she didn't want to lose me. It was emotional. She was crying, and I could see how much it scared her that I was about to walk away. For the first time in a long time, it felt like she was choosing me. But here's the thing. As much as I appreciated her apology, it didn't magically fix everything. I told her that while cancelling the concert was a good step, it didn't erase all the hurt. I still felt like I'd been competing with Jake for too long, and trust once broken is hard to rebuild. We ended up spending the weekend together as planned. We didn't go on the big anniversary trip, but we stayed in, cooked together, and had long conversations about everything. Our relationship, Jake, the future. It was a roller coaster of emotions. There were moments where I felt like maybe we could make this work, but also moments where the damage felt too deep to repair. By today, I was emotionally drained. Sarah seemed to think things were heading in the right direction, but I still wasn't sure. I needed space to think, so I told her we should take a break, give each other some time to reflect and see if this relationship was something we both wanted to fight for. She didn't take it well. She cried again, begged me not to go, said she'd proved to me that she was serious about changing. But I needed to be alone, to clear my head, without the constant push and pull of emotions. So I left. I haven't spoken to her since. We agreed to give it a couple of weeks before we decided anything. But to be honest, I'm still leaning towards ending things for good. Could she really have set boundaries with Jake after everything? I find this hard to believe after months of me begging. I feel like I've already checked out of the relationship. And while their efforts are appreciated, I can't shake the feeling that it's too little, too late. I'll always care about Sarah. But this whole situation has made me realize how important it is to be with someone who values and respects you from the beginning. Someone who doesn't make you feel like you have to compete for their attention. You all think she might have cheated on me with Jake, so Reddit, I ask, should I give her another chance or should I go through with the breakup? The first commenter on this one from Barkley said, sounds like she's found your Reddit to me. iPoop says, either that or Jake the Snake made a move on her when he felt he had convinced her that OP is toxic. Whenever people call each other snakes like that, I always think of like especially because the name was Jake. Jake the Snake Roberts. Damn, old school reference there. Electrical Baker says, should you give her another chance or should you walk away? It's a question only you could answer. What is your gut telling you? Did you feel she was being sincere? Did you ask her if she cheated on you with Jake? What I'm also curious about is what happened between her and Jake after your last discussion. I don't mean did they have sex? No. I mean, did they talk about the situation? Did he shoot his shot to win her over and she rejected him, or maybe see the situation for what it is? Some suggested that maybe she wanted to have a relationship with him, but he refuses to settle down. I reread the original post. Talking to him 2 a.m. in the morning while you're asleep, late night drives, going to dinners and movies while she's in a relationship with you. That's fucking weird and very suspicious. I'm curious. Did she come over on her own accord, or did you ask her to come over and talk? If she came on her own, that's a big plus. I think you have a good idea about taking a break. If it were me, I don't know. After a break, you have to see how you would feel about her. Also, what happens to Jake in all of this? Is she going to part ways with him, or is he still going to be in the background? I think I would tell her that Jake has to go. Point out that he told you were being toxic and you don't trust him. Please keep us updated on what you decide. And I think Sarah's response in this did come across as like absolute panic. She only seemed to act when he was going to walk. So damage control, if you like. And I think the break was a good idea at the time. I mean, if you're being told that you're being controlling and insecure, that doesn't change overnight, right? And even Jake's calling him toxic. So what like that commenter was saying, what happens with Jake in the background of all of this? I bet you they're still going to have a relationship of some sort, and I just personally can't see it ending well. Maybe it will, who knows? But 8 months later, OP came in with an update and said, hey Reddit, it's been about 8 months since my last update. Honestly, I didn't plan on ever coming back to this. After everything happened, I just kind of wanted to forget about it. Plus, Sarah eventually found the post, so I stayed quiet. But at this point, I don't care who I piss off. I think I owe you guys the end of the story, plus a lot of you guys have been asking for an update, so here it is. After my last post, we decided to go on a break. We had no contact for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks messed with my head more than I expected. I didn't know what she was doing, who she was talking to, or where things stood. Eventually, I reached out and told her I wanted to break up. I thought I was ready. She broke down, cried, begged, told me she'd cut Jake off for good. Said she'd block him, delete him, whatever it took. She told me she couldn't imagine her life without me and just wanted one more chance. And like an idiot, I gave it to her because I still loved her. This was the second person in my life I could say I truly loved. I didn't want to start over with someone new when I'd known her for so long. She wasn't just my partner, she was my best friend. I didn't want to lose what we had. At first, things were okay. She was more present, we spent more time together, and she tried harder. But I wasn't the same. I had this weird feeling in my gut that I couldn't trust her, even if I pretended to. I just couldn't forget everything that happened, and I won't sit here and act like I was perfect either. When she was trying her hardest, I wasn't putting in the same effort. That hurt her. This went on for about 3 months. It started getting better, little by little. I thought we were making progress. I still wasn't all the way in, but I could finally say I saw a future with her. But the thing that really bothered? Jake. She did stay true to her word and unfollowed him when we first got back together. This was almost 4 months ago. But one day while I was at work, I was scrolling on Instagram and saw that they had followed each other again. I asked her about it and she said it didn't mean anything, that they weren't talking. I let it go. Maybe I didn't want to know the truth. Fast forward a few weeks, we're at my place and she had fallen asleep first. That's when I saw an Instagram notification. I couldn't open it, didn't know her password, and wasn't about to try and scan her face while she slept. So I ignored it. I couldn't sleep. I was restless, but I told myself I was overthinking and I wanted to trust her. Fast forward another week. We went on vacation and were staying at a hotel. She asked me to grab something from the car, but the hotel room key was on her phone. So she handed it to me. That's when my insecurities got the best of me, and I snooped while walking to the car. That's when I saw it, and honestly, I felt nauseous. DMs from Jake. Not just old ones, recent, some unanswered, but some she did reply to. Messages about how she couldn't stand being apart from him, how it killed her to block him, how she missed talking to him, how she wanted to see him again. And then the part that really broke me. How she had developed feelings for him but was scared to leave me because then it wouldn't be Jake and OP. It would just be Jake. She talked about how she didn't want to lose the both of us. She had even seen him behind my back. When she said she was going to the gym, she was going to his place. I came back to the room and didn't say anything. I laid in bed, numb. She eventually got up to take a shower, and while she was in there, she texted me asking if I went through her phone. At first, I lied. But then she said when she opened Instagram, it was still on the DMs with Jake, something she didn't leave open. So I admitted it. I told her I read everything and couldn't believe she lied to me again. Her response? You weren't supposed to see that. I completely lost it. She tried playing the victim card, telling me I broke her trust by going through her phone and that I wasn't supposed to read what she told Jake. Like I was the bad guy in this situation. That was it for me. I didn't ask for explanations. I didn't want to hear any more lies. I shut down completely. I stopped texting her and only spoke when necessary for the rest of the trip. We'd driven 6 hours from our hometown to visit some friends, so I couldn't just leave. We acted normal in front of our friends until it was time to go. The 6-hour drive home, complete silence. I drove most of the way and didn't say a word. When I dropped her off at her place, she tried to talk to me, even tried to kiss me goodbye. I pushed her away and asked her to get out of the car. Later that night, I texted her that I was done. I didn't want to talk anymore. She tried to explain, but at that point, there was nothing left to say. I gave her so many chances, and she still chose to lie. Again, I didn't know if anything sexual happened between them, and at this point, I don't care anymore. What I do know is I spent too long being second in a relationship where I should have been enough. So yeah, I'm single now. It hurts, obviously, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like I can finally breathe again. Thanks to everyone who gave it to me straight in the comments all those months ago, but also to those who told me to give her another chance. It hurt, but I grew and matured from this. Reality replies to this saying, you dodged a bullet. Someone who lies that repeatedly and then tries to gaslight you for catching them. You weren't supposed to see that. Was never going to change. You wasted way too much energy on someone who was never fully yours to begin with. Opie responds saying, that's exactly what I keep telling myself. I wasted so much time and energy. I'm just glad I ended it sooner than later. Ben Reeson says, she was never going to put you first. She had no respect for you. If she did, she would have cut contact with him a long time ago. Then she sees him behind your back. It might suck now, but you're way better off and you deserve better. Now they can be together. Glittering Ware says, honestly, I feel for you, man. That gut feeling never dies. You gave her another chance and really tried, but she kept that connection behind your back. That's not love, that's emotional betrayal. Opie says, I agree. It felt like she was chasing after attention instead of something genuine. Exciting Tabletop says, been in your shoes. I'm actually happy I gave it a second chance because then I permanently knew. No second guessing and no what ifs. You'll never know why she made the choices she did, but it doesn't matter. It'll suck for a while and then it'll get better. And you know, in some ways, fair play to OP that they did give that another try because like that commenter said, it eliminates all those what ifs and buts in that situation. He gave it a genuine shot, put in the work, but got the closure he needed. But the comment where she was saying she didn't want to lose both of us was just like, oh dearie me. Sure, it's 8 months of his life that he's never going to get back, but now he knows exactly what he's worth and won't settle for being someone's second choice again. Which is growth in my opinion. But what do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if it was you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. And if you want to see some more Reddit stories, at the very end of this video, you'll see a couple of pop-ups there that will have playlists of all the videos that we posted, so it will just automatically keep scrolling through those videos for you. So if you're having a bit of a chill out, doing some cleaning, having a walk, doing your favorite hobby, don't forget to let me know what that is of your artwork and your pet tags, all that sort of stuff over on X or Blue Sky. I always love to see that. But those videos will keep scrolling in the background while you do those things. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.